Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. It's a Thursday tea time chat. It's me and Kenny. Me and Kenny are back on the Thursday tea time chat, and we're all both very happy, positive vibes in the house. And Kenny, what can I say, brother? How you doing? All good?
You know what? It's been like a good few days. You know what I mean? I just hope it don't. I hope the good, vibes continue into Sunday by about 6:30, because right now, all the tests we've set the club, and they'll be set by themselves in terms of fixtures. They pass everything with flying colours. You know, which best, you think about Newcastle away. They go there, last minute goal, boom, win. Fulham away, boom, win. They go Spurs and North London derby. We're always going to turn up for that, but they only won in third gear. Then Bayern Munich, boom. Atletico Madrid, boom. Then there's a time when it's so great that the expectations just higher. You just want it to keep on carrying on. But yesterday, that was the best second half I've ever seen from us in a long under Arteta's reign, in terms of like a big European club who were dominating possession, who were targeting their weak areas and exploiting it on a regular basis. And then your man, Declan Rice, was a catalyst towards us changing the tempo. He raising the tempo, dragging up the field, and he kind of led, and everyone followed him. So yeah, and the substitutions were fantastic in terms of like bringing on Calafiori, Martinelli getting his third goal, and obviously Madueke as well coming on and getting a goal. And Madueke, he's swapping like Saka for Martinelli, and just said to Madueke, run at a goalkeeper. And Eze as well. Eze came into the game in the second half. He was struggling a bit with Bayern Munich's movement and control of the possession. But when we won the midfield battle and won the athletic battle, he came in the game and he was involved in both the two goals in the second half. Win-win for us.
Oh, it was just incredible. I thought the first half, Kenny, was how I expected, really. Bayern Munich didn't show any fear, got a lot of possession of the ball, tried to hurt us in certain areas, tried to be very, very patient. And although we had a couple of half chances first half, we never really got to grips with them, did we? Was that because we were just sussing them out, how they was approaching the game, or do you think that they was just too good with the possession in the first half?
They're a winning team. They won every game this season. Was it 17 games they won? They won 17 games unbeaten run. They won every game in Europe. They're the team that no one wants to play. They don't, because they're a powerful team as well. They got big lads. Physically, they're powerful. They win their jaws. And when they win a goal down, didn't panic. But they recognised that Marzouskeli doesn't. When there's a diagonal ball, you've noticed that whenever the diagonal ball went down Timber's side, he's on the front foot. He heads the ball and he intercepts it. But what Marzouskeli does is that he thinks he can intercept it on his feet, with his feet, rather than attacking the ball with his head. So Bayern Munich realised that, and then they knew that if they did that, one, he'd be out of position, which he was for the goal, or he won't head the ball. So it's highly likely that the ball will go to Cole. It would go to Elise. And then what he does is he relies on his strength and his pace and thinks, right, one-on-one, these guys are not going to beat me. But what he did wrong yesterday is that he got too tight to him. When he got tight, that's when they spun him and they got away. And it's the experience. Whilst with Calafiori, when the diagonal ball was going through, Calafiori will attack it with his head, and then he got them in areas where they didn't want to go. They didn't want to go. They couldn't do him under the line, so they had to cut back, give the ball, and then the attack would be done. And I think what Marzouskeli was relying on as well, he wasn't able to get on the front foot and start our attacks because Bayern Munich were dominating possession too much. So he was kind of redundant in that game.
Yeah. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought Skelly, to be honest, he was rusty, didn't he? His positioning was a little bit wrong, wasn't it? I mean, he done okay, but they they was exploiting that little area
Yeah.
a lot, didn't they? I mean, and Elise was. I thought Elise looked dangerous in that first half. Every time he got the ball, he was positive, wasn't he? And they scored a good equaliser, didn't they? I mean, let's be honest, the goal they got was very good, and that come from that side, one touch in. But I mean, obviously, we'll talk about Arsenal and everything. What did you make of? Obviously, we're talking about Bayern Munich because it's a football channel. That's who we played. So it'd be nice to have a little chat about the opposition because we could meet them further down in the competition just because we've.
I think there's a potential semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that, Kenny, what did you think of the likes of Kimmich and Kane? Because I've never seen Kane was playing like a midfield player. What was your opinion?
But he was helping his team by playing that position and dropping deep. That enabled Gnabry, Elise, and Cole to get into forward positions. People, if you were at the game and you actually looked at Harry Kane and you focused on Harry Kane had a good game. Kerry had a good game, but what people think he had a bad game because he didn't get into the box. He didn't. He played on the shoulder and he didn't have shots on goal. But what he did for his team was brilliant because him dropping back was dragging players in positions they didn't want to go, and then boom, players are bombing on, and that's one of the reasons why he is the best centre forward for me in the world because he's two players in one, and he doesn't have the pace of Mbappe or Haaland, but what he does is that he gets into great positions where he's a nightmare. But what happened in the second half, by getting closer to Kane, getting closer to Kimmich, we were able to win the physical battle, and we kind of rendered Kane ineffective after probably was it 65 minutes?
Yeah.
Before that, Harry Kane was doing a lot of good work off the ball. Kimmich was doing well off the ball. Gnabry ran out of legs because remember he's carrying an injury, and so it's one of those things where it was a very even game until we came out the second half, and then once we increased the tempo, pressed them physically, they couldn't live with us. They were just holding on. They were just doing that. They would have been happy with like getting a point because Neuer was called into a lot of action. The set pieces were like I said, were just relentless. The way we attacked was relentless. It was only a matter of time before they creaked, and they creaked twice. But that was all because of pressure. We put them under.
Oh yeah, I mean it was relentless second half. It was absolutely relentless second half. I didn't expect it. I'm going to be honest with you, Kenny. I mean, I thought the second half was going to kind of be like the first half. I thought it was going to be a bit of a game of chess. I never thought that we would come out with such purpose and such intention and put them under pressure from the go. And not only that, we started to kind of up the tempo, and this is what I've been looking for all season. If I'm honest with you, Kenny, that second half was pretty flawless, wasn't it? Because we upped the tempo, we upped the pressure. We played some long balls, we switched play, but one of the things that was impressive with me, and I've been crying out for this for ages, is someone getting the ball in midfield and driving with it. Running with that's what Declan done, and I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, but if you know what Declan, if you notice, I don't know how much. I don't know what he has for dinner, what he doesn't have for dinner.
Incredible,
because he ran himself his nuts off. And you know another thing as well. How long is he going to be going that well? Because without him, the tempo, Zuameni's not able to. Hasn't got a runner who's going to run off him. Declan Rice covers so much ground; it's unbelievable. I don't think there was glimpses of that at West Ham, but this season, he's become kind of a leader in his team in terms of like what he's doing. But you worry because you think, Jesus Christ, he's going to have to do that on Sunday. Because
I know it's amazing, but this is why I've always been a fan of him, Kenny, and this is why I've always
I can't wait for that battle between
No,
Declan
I
Rice.
can't. And he's looking forward to it. And big up Declan because his interviews afterwards were brilliant.
Yeah.
And funny enough, one of the things we get criticised for is by saying, "Oh, we can't get over the line." And funny enough, in Declan Rice's interview, when they asked him, he said, "Well, we're just taking it game by game because we've been in this position before and failed to get over the line." Now, is that Declan being negative? I don't know, or is he just
No,
you know what I mean? So, like,
you know what Declan's like? Declan's one of those guys, right, who basically says, you know what? I ain't messing around.
oh, he's phenomenal.
He will never, he's one of those players who thinks, I don't want to be considered as a top player or an Arsenal legend until I win something. It's his pride in him. You know what I mean? The West Ham thing, he doesn't want to finish his career where the only thing he's won is Europa League at West Ham. He comes to Arsenal to win trophies.
Oh, 100%.
No, that's a big ask because he hasn't won anything yet. In the 3 years he's been, he's won nothing. But in essence, that's what he's about, and that's what he wants. That's what he's here for, and he's got that kind of mentality where he's not satisfied. It's next game, and you need someone like that who would do that. Don't get me wrong. Other players would say the same thing, but Declan's just kind of that guy, that mentality. You could tell that Declan gets in the training room. He's a very vocal player.
He gets it, doesn't he, Kenny? He just gets what playing football is. For me, it's not just about what he's... I mean, it is what he's doing for Arsenal, obviously, because long may it continue. But he just gets it, Kenny, doesn't he? He plays with his heart on his sleeve. You know what I mean? He just... Every time he goes out there, he says... I always say he's like a throwback. You could say, look, just put your boots on. You're only getting 20 quid a week. Do you mind going and playing? And he'll play football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? You know what with Declan Rice, he's a different kind of midfielder because when I look at Declan Rice, he's not quite the midfielder that I thought was like who was blood and guts, but he was a complete midfielder and a player that I admired a lot was Brian Robson.
Oh,
Brian
Robson, yeah.
For me, the best British in terms of that type of midfielder with the position that Declan Rice plays, the only midfielder in my lifetime who's perfected that role that Declan Rice does for Arsenal and England is Brian Robson. You know, people talk about Stevie Gerrard and he's doing all this for Liverpool. Brian Robson was doing that in the 80s. What Stevie Gerrard was doing in the 2000s and the 2010s. Brian Robson did that every week for Man United till he got injured. So when you look at Declan Rice, people say that, there's a bit of a Steven Gerrard on him. Well, Brian Robson was doing that before, and I think that's the thing with Declan Rice. Declan Rice is he's surprised. I stand on my island where I say, look, Declan Rice is not a number 6. I think it's a waste of time playing number 6 because
you was right there, mate. I've got to give it to you. You was right. You was crying out.
There's so much facets to his game where you're wasting him at number 6 because the number 6, the traditional number 6 in this country is someone who's like Claude Makelele, who just organised the back four, not organised the midfield and organised the team to protect the back four. And he'll say, go there. He's better than that. He's better than that. He's shown he's better than that. He's shown that there's so much more. He can add to his that it's in his game. Doesn't have to add it. It's there already, but it just needs to come out. And I think the more he plays, the more you're going to see it. You know what we need now is goals. Now we need the ability to get out his feet and boom, boom, boom. We want that.
That's all he needs, doesn't it? If he could add a few goals, Kenny, even I'm not even being greedy, Kenny. About 8-10 goals a season.
Well, you know, it's funny. That's his next goal because you look at Gerrard. He started off as people thought Gerrard was an older midfielder when he was at Liverpool, and then he showed other facets to his game where, boom, he became that player who was always on the score sheet for Liverpool and just has facets again. It was very like disorganising type sections, but he could do that. Brian Robson, you know what he was like at England and he was like at Man United, but when he was at West Brom, there was there was facets to that, but and he was already an England regular when he was at West Brom. But when he went to Man United and he became Man United England captain, boom. Brian Robson for me is the best. That type of midfield, that position, Brian Robson perfected it. In Declan Rice, just watch videos of Brian Robson if you haven't already, because that's
incredible.
That's the
and do you know what? The funny thing about it is, you ask your Gerrards and your Scholeses and all your top midfield players, you know, they always reference back to Brian Robson, don't they? You know, there's not many midfield players that don't try and emulate, not emulate, but you know what I mean. Try and they always say that if I'm as good as Brian Robson, then I've made it as a midfield player. So you know, he was that good, wasn't he? He was that good.
Brian Robson's the Don. If you want to sort of like the Don of Dons when it comes to midfielders, Brian Robson's your man. Brian Robson, without a shadow of doubt, his levels above is apparent. You know, you can imagine it. If he didn't get those injuries in 1990 and 86, England could have been in the final in those 2 years.
Yeah, that was a
shoulder injury. They got to a semi-final and a quarter-final without him. If they had him, who knows what could have happened? Brian Robson easily levels, and to actually still play that amount of games with the serious injuries he had, unbelievable. Now, I just hope that Declan has this kind of Stevie Gerrard kind of career where he doesn't have serious injuries. Because Stevie Gerrard, you couldn't remember a serious injury Steven Gerrard really had.
Some players just don't, do they? I mean, look at the amount of games he played for West Ham, Declan Rice. And you've got to admit, and most West Ham fans will probably back me up on this, because he used to give his all for West Ham as well. I mean, he'd literally be running his socks off for West Ham as well. Yeah. I mean, so he has played a lot of games at a lot of high intensity.
You think about when he made his debut. You remember when guess who his first goal was for West Ham?
I did know this.
And you were at the game.
Who was it against?
You were at the game.
Yeah. It was
us. You remember that time when he beat us 1-0?
Yes.
When we
his first goal?
That was his first goal. His first Premiership goal. His first goal for the West Ham. His first Premiership goal, which was his first goal, was against us in January 2019. Remember when we had Dennis Suarez? You remember Dennis Suarez? Unai Emery was the manager. Aubameyang, Lacazette. Remember the corner?
Yeah. He had a little cropped haircut, didn't he? Little scrawny.
He hit in the top corner and he did the celebration for Soccer AM. Yeah, that's it. That's it. At the London Stadium, January 2019.
Who did I thought he scored against? I thought he scored
in the top corner. His first ever goal against us, Declan Rice.
Yeah, I thought it was against Aston Villa before that.
I was against us.
Obviously wrong. Yeah, no, fair enough. Big up everyone in the chat. Make sure that you are subbing.
Robson was the Don.
Robson definitely before my time of existence, but two are right. Yeah, big up Static. And we've got Shane in the house as well. Big up Shane. Rice is a closer style to Robson than Gerrard. Yeah, I mean, I agree. He's very much our Brian Robson. But big up Shane also in the chat. Martin Tap. The Gooner channel is also in as well. The Hope glasses are working. They certainly are, my friend. They certainly are. We've still got those Hope glasses. Don't you worry about that.
Well, yeah, definitely. You know what it is, right? Is that we're not pessimistic. We just realised that because it's been so long.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's like the same for Liverpool. When Liverpool won their title in 2020, they were cautious as well. They didn't believe until it happened.
But when you hear the players being interviewed, they're not really saying a lot different to what we're saying. Taking it game by game.
Footballers are modest.
They've been there before, and they haven't got over the line, and they're all saying it. So they're all aware. They're all aware of what we're aware, and let's be honest. I mean, listen. At the moment, it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. But where are you at, Kenny? With if we beat Chelsea, because a lot of
Dan said it,
and a few others, and. Listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's fine. But where are you as to regards to if we beat Chelsea?
It's like a valid question. It's a valid question. Obviously, you don't want to jinx it because you don't want to talk so early and then start, preparing your day out in May when we're watching the title, where we see the team title being paraded. it's too early to do that. But the thing is a valid question because, you know, the evidence and the probabilities of us winning the league are hard to fight off on the basis that we are passing the teams, we are winning games. The opposite, we're stretching our lead over our opponents. If we beat Chelsea, it's 9 points ahead.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Then Man City will have to win that weekend. I don't know who they got.
Yeah.
I think they're at home. They're
Yeah,
at home. They
Leeds,
have to win that.
I think they've got Leeds.
They got Leeds. They have to beat Leeds. No messing about. No messing around. Haaland plays. Bang.
Yeah.
You know, no rotation. He plays, and then it's got to be like a wait and see. But Chelsea, they've got an absolute brilliant opportunity. But the situation is that Man City do not convince me in a way that they would have convinced me 2 seasons ago. Where
No, going forward, they still look dangerous, don't they? Final
midfield,
third.
I'm not convinced about the midfield. I don't. I'm not. I just. I look at the midfield and I say, where's the energy? Where's the conductor? Where's the energy of Kovacic? Kovacic ran his nuts off, and he could play, but he ran and he brought the athleticism and enthusiasm to the midfield. I look at Man City's midfield. Who's running? Yeah, Gonzalez is. He's a Rodri type, but who's the one who's actually raising the tempo and changing that tempo? You know, don't get me wrong. When they played against Newcastle were really, really. I saw the highlights, but I was at my brother's birthday. Great night, great time. But I was trying to watch it on the phone when I was getting like the bus and and then I was going to get the tube and the train. But when you play against Newcastle, you have to beat Newcastle. You have to match them physically. You got to match them. You got to match Gimenez. You got to match Joe Linton. You got to match them. You know, their team where they're really athletic and they run their nuts off. I don't see many midfielders since the Man City when they had they had a team that basically ran and gave the position a physical battle. This Man City wants to play football, and I don't think that's going to be possible, especially in difficult away games and tricky away games. Don't get me wrong. Like, for instance, Man City, when they won the league, they'll go to places like, obviously, they would have gone to something like Everton's ground and win. I'm not convinced if Man City went to Goodison, also the Bradley Park, they'll win because they haven't got that they haven't got those players who are willing to roll the sleeves up and let's have a go. We'll do it against them. They may beat us. We may not even beat Everton, but we'll give them a go and we'll try and match them physically. But they may win because Everton just have that thing about them where they're just physically imposing for set pieces and they defend for their lives. So it'll be an hard game against Everton. You know what I mean? Like last season, we had 2 hard games against Everton.
I think it'd be similar to the Sunderland game.
Yeah, definitely. But you know that if Man City when they went to Newcastle, I always thought that they probably wouldn't win. But if they won, it wouldn't surprise me. But they probably wouldn't win. Aston Villa, I was looking for something at Man City, and it just reminded me that that's the Man City that doesn't scare me. That's why when Dan says if we beat Chelsea, we're the title. He didn't say it's done, but we'll.
Yeah, I know where he's coming from. I know exactly where he's coming from.
Right, because the bigger the gap between us and the rest, this stage of the season, you begin to believe. But if it carries on like that into February and March, there's no way we could. There's no way we can't be anything but the favourites.
No, exactly. I mean, if you're going to build up that sort of lead, especially going into the Christmas break, because that's important as well. We're going to go into December. I think the problem is with me. The reason why, and it ain't really got anything to do with Arteta not being able to get over the line in the past. I think it's because the games are coming thick and fast.
Yes,
and
right.
And the way we play football is very high tempo, very, very demanding. And I just feel sometimes that may catch up on us a little bit where we might go to like Everton and look a bit tired and drop a point or something, or drop a couple of points. That's the only reason why I'm a little bit cautious.
Well,
Everything's
you've
in
got the
place
point,
now.
though.
The manager seems to be learning more than what he done in the previous past. I mean, the substitutions he made last night was spot on in my book. I'd have still like to have seen Rice come off, to be honest with you. But
Rice only comes off when he asks to come off.
yeah, exactly. I've learned that now. Rice is not the first one to sort of put his hand up and say, "Look, I've had enough." But you know, you got to practically drag him off. But I mean, he took Saka off at 1-1, Kenny, and I've never really. I was surprised. Well.
Yeah,
I was happily surprised.
Tactical.
You know,
It was tactical, but one of the things, remember Saka did get a knock and he was down for a while. Remember when he went in the first half, he went down, and there was no one near him. There was no one near him. So when Saka gets the impact knocks, he gets up and he carries on. You're all right with that. But you worry when it's a situation where no one's near him, and you know he'll pull a muscle or he'll tear a muscle. You know, Mikel think, right, you know what, I'm not risking him anymore. I'm going to get Madueke on. He's fresh. So it was a precautionary substitution. It was nothing tactical. Because if Saka didn't have that knock, or sorry, didn't go down and he felt something in his leg,
he would have kept him on.
He would have kept him on, and it would have been a situation where Martinelli might not have got on. But because of the precautionary nature of Saka's knock, get him off. Because Chelsea's, because look, I think the manager's priority is the Premiership. He ain't going to tell you that. The Champions League is like, how do I say it? It's a nice dessert after the main meal.
Yeah. You think he's actually looking at that, Kenny? Do you think he's actually kind of?
Well, look
obviously, he'd like to win everything, wouldn't he? But do you honestly think that he's?
We proved it yesterday.
Yeah.
You think about it. Oh, don't get me wrong. He proved it yesterday because it's Bayern Munich. That's Bayern Munich. They're the best team in Europe. You want to play your strongest side, but he rotated, and you look at the atmosphere before the Bayern Munich game.
People said it was buzzing, but I thought it was a bit flat in the stadium.
It was but before Tottenham, it was buzzing. Before Real Madrid, it was buzzing. Before Arsenal played PSG in the first leg of the semi-final, it was buzzing.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, and it's buzzing in that kind of way, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, you know, I got the impression that it was a priority that the league, and Chelsea's in our game anyway. It's a derby as well. You know, it's going to be intense.
It's going to be tough.
You know, I was saying to DG that it must be really hard for like one of the hardest things for a London club to do in terms of going for the title is those derbies. Don't bloody, especially away games. Chelsea's going to be intense. I mean, Spurs will not be those, you know, Wazzicks they were against us last week. You know, Crystal Palace on their day, if they get it right, and all the pieces they're gonna give us, they're gonna make it hard for us. West Ham are capable of either capitulating or getting it right, and they're all going to be our games. And then, so it's one of those things. We've had Fulham already. We saw how hard it was to win there.
Yeah.
So those sort of games, they can hinder a London side in winning the title. Us and Chelsea, but you think about Chelsea, this Sunday. You know, the only way's up for them. You know, they're in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. They got Cardiff. They're going to beat Cardiff, so they got a semi-final.
They're on a bit of form, aren't they? Let's be honest, they are on a bit of form, aren't they? They've got individuals.
Yeah, they got a beat. They won against Burnley. The game they supposed to win. They gave Forest a black eye. They giving Liverpool a shiner, a black eye as well in the last minute. So they've had some really good victories. Obviously, Sunderland wasn't great. Man United was catastrophic. And, you know, but they're in a position now that if they win, it's 3 points.
Yeah. People say, oh, Chelsea only won against 10 men Barcelona, but
they were murdering them before that.
They were battering them even with 11.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was Chelsea as well, they do miss they do miss Lewis Paul, but I think what he won't play a back three because it'd be an absolute fool to play a back three because that's basically you're basically saying I'm scared of Arsenal set pieces.
Yeah,
But
yeah, basically,
by playing a back three, look what Tottenham did. What he's
yeah,
going to, I think what Wesley Fofana has come back and he's been brilliant for them in
yeah,
defence. Been absolutely fantastic. And then you've got Chera Chalobah. I think the folly of loaning him out of Crystal Palace, Maresca's realised his mistake.
mm,
And Chera Chalobah at centre half alongside Fofana has been really good. All right,
mm,
we're going to be a different test, but they've been bloody brilliant. And then
mm.
Cucurella he's probably been the best left back in the country.
He's a
Whether,
very,
as much
he's
as
a very good left back. I've got to be honest.
Cucurella's performances this season and last season, he's a bloody good left back. And then
Yeah,
Reece James will play in the midfield because
yeah,
they can play Marla Gusto
mm,
at right back. So Reece James, has got sometimes they'll play a three of Reece James
mm.
in the midfield, Casado and Fernandes. But if there's an injury, Reece James comes for right back. But he can interchange in that respect. So
It's going to be an interesting game.
they're
It's going to
in
be a
really good
real
form.
interesting game.
Yeah. And Reece James has got a lot of pace, so he'll be up and down a pitch
Yeah.
in the midfield, and obviously, Casado, he's a machine.
This is where it's going to be a test for us because where Calafiori can go into those attacking positions and bomb forward and get into those attacking positions, he won't be able to do that, will he? He's got Reece James in his side, and
He'll have Reece James. No, but Reece James will play in midfield, so I think what they're going to do, they're going to play Marla Gusto, Gusto at right back, and Reece James will play in that three.
Yeah.
Playing that three. Obviously, if there's injuries, then they'll sometimes they play Esteval with interchange with Neto. So what will happen is that they're very interchangeable. Like Neto will start on the left, but what he does is that him and Esteval interchange between in the Cole Palmer position, which is just basically just behind.
And they play with a quicker tempo without Cole Palmer.
I said it on downstream. The ball moves quicker in an attacking sense, and off the ball as well. They get into positions as well. Cole Palmer does work hard, but he is the luxury player where he's given them free-ish role, whilst Esteval has to work. My guy? Neto has to work. The only player that is inconsistent really is Garnacho, but Garnacho always likes the game. Always does okay against us, so he's going to be up for it as well.
Yeah,
they're going to be at home as well. They're going to have that crowd behind them. You know what I mean? And it's an intimidating atmosphere. But we won't be scared of them.
No, absolutely. We can't be. I mean, we go in there full of confidence. I mean, the results we've got have been brilliant. So we've got to.
You know what Chelsea got to do? You know, I was talking to DJ. See you later.
Big up, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Big up.
But you know what I said to regarding the Chelsea Arsenal game. My thoughts are, if you're going to play with that tempo you're playing against Barcelona against us, one, you've got to create chances, and two, you've got to take them because the second half.
100%.
100%. If we come off virtually unscathed, and what will happen? We'll say we'll wait for you and tire out, and then we'll go for you and we'll beat you.
Exactly. If they get on top of us, if they've scorned chances and don't take their chances and let us in, then we'll wear them down, and then we could pick them off. But it's going to be an interesting game, mate.
But the thing about it is that they have a midfield that is just as athletic and runs just as much as us do. They have defenders who will be, but they're not as good as our defence. But they're a good team, and they got players can hurt us. You know, they got variety. They got variety in their front three. Like for instance, they can choose between Delap and Pedro, Pedro might start, but they got delayed. They do have people come off the bench and change it.
Oh yeah,
Not like if you look at some of the teams we played off the bench, with the exception of Sunderland and probably Liverpool, we haven't played teams that had something off the bench that could change the game.
I mean, there's a lot of players in that Chelsea team that would suit a Mikel Arteta team, really. I mean, there's a lot of Chelsea players there that would probably stand a chance of getting into our
and you know another thing as well. You remind me, like, if Garnacho don't have a good game, they've got Gittins to come to the bench.
Yeah, they've got plenty of options. It is. I've got to be honest with you. Out of all the teams that I've seen, I don't think people are actually giving Chelsea a chance because when they do play bad, when it does go wrong, it looks awful, doesn't it? I mean, when it goes wrong for Chelsea, it goes really wrong for Chelsea, doesn't it? But having said that, they have hit a bit of form lately, and when it does go well, they do look a good outfit. But I think how do you think Trossard came off yesterday? So we don't know the. I've been busy today, so I don't know the full length of the injury.
I don't know. You never know, but he could start. But what's happening is that Madueke is 100% a shoo-in to play that left-hand side.
I was just going to get on. I was just going to get onto that, Kenny, because the times I have seen him play on the left, albeit briefly, I'm still not convinced with him on the left. To be honest with you,
I think the thing about it, right, is they want to give something different. They want someone who could the plan for Madueke was to experiment as a left-footer down the left-hand side, rather than have the inverted forward types.
Wouldn't you just go with Martinelli though? Seriously.
Nah. Martinelli's a bench player who'll come on and in the last 20 or 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, he won't be starting games for Arsenal for the foreseeable future, whilst Trossard's in form. But you never know. He may start Martinelli, but I don't think he will. I think he would start Madueke. I'm convinced of it. The Madueke, going on the last two games, Trossard gets injured. Martinelli didn't come on. It was Madueke. Trossard went off against Tottenham. It was Madueke came on.
Yeah, I know.
So if you go by that, Madueke is the player that you will play. All right, don't get me wrong. Martinelli does come off the goal. He does come on the bench. He does things, blah blah. But in terms of what Mikel needs tactically, and in terms of like going forward in the threat, he prefers Trossard in that position.
Yeah,
he prefers Madueke.
I can't see Martinelli. I can't see Martinelli starting. To be honest with you, I reckon
Martinelli had the keys last season, and when it came to teams putting men behind the ball and breaking the lines, he struggled. Teams worked him out. Teams just thought, okay. A lot of teams had him in his pocket.
Yeah, he did. He hasn't. I mean, he's been brilliant for us when he's been called upon. Martinelli, he's been brilliant for us this season.
Off the bench, isn't it? It was
off the bench.
But
starting, he's not above Trossard. To be honest,
you imagine if you're tired, you're a defender, you're knackered, right? And you got Eze looking up, and you got Martinelli, basically like on your shoulder, and Eze puts the ball over the top. You're French connections. If you're a defender, a tired defender, if you're a defender and you're fresh, you've got a chance. But if you're tired and you got Martinelli fresh and at pace, he's ruining you. He's ruining
exactly.
You.
He's the last person you want to see coming off the bench with that pace. Yeah. He ain't going to do anything silly though, is he? And move Eze out there, because that would be for me. Put Eze on the left and bring Odegaard in. That for me.
He's got a decision to make, because if Odegaard's fully fit, he's got a decision to make. He's got to choose one or the other. You know,
do you think he's going to be that? Do you think he's literally going to be that, or do you think Odegaard's going to hold bench? Because Eze's been brilliant, hasn't he, last couple of games? Although the first half yesterday, I didn't see much. But
it's not form; it's tactics for Mikel. If he believes that Odegaard is better off the ball than Eze, and he believes that Odegaard can lead the press, then there's not a shoo-in that he starts on the bench, i.e. Odegaard. he's still going to prefer Odegaard to do those jobs better than Eze. And he's going to think, well, Odegaard is my captain. And I still think he got that creative bit about him.
How do you think that will do with the team spirit and all of that, Kenny? Because you know that old saying, in it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. At the moment, we're on a high, aren't we? At the moment, we're on a high. We're flying. So how do you think that would do if he starts to try and shoehorn
team spirit gets affected either way, doesn't it? Team spirit, because for instance, if Eze don't play and he prefers Odegaard, that can affect team spirit. But if Odegaard don't play because he's a captain of the side, that could he's not getting back to the team here and there. Yeah, it'll be a sign, but it's one of the things where Odegaard now has that there isn't an effective alternative now. You know what I mean? Eze is getting inside goal scoring positions. Mourinho is helping Eze run past and get those shots off goal. He is able to look up and put those balls in for Martinelli. Eze's adding a bit to his game as well. But you know what we want to see and why we want to prefer him is not. We saw a glimpse of a Crystal Palace and Queen's Park Rangers Eze on Sunday. And we want to see more of that, and we feel that we won't see a lot of that if Odegaard comes back to the team, he goes to the bench, or if he goes down the left-hand side. Because when he played, he started on the left at Crystal Palace, but he was given a free-ish role. It won't suffice that he'll be able to do that in this team. But a lot of people said that you could start Odegaard and Eze in the side if we're playing cannon fodder. Well, the next bit of cannon fodder we're playing is Wolves. Yeah. They're rubbish.
Yeah, we should beat them.
Yeah, so that could be an opportunity to rest because we got.
I was going to say, do you reckon he'll experiment in that game, Kenny, or do you think he'll just? I mean, it's a Premier League game; it's 3 points, isn't it? Hopefully, goals as well.
You know what he could do, but there's no after the Wolves game. There's the next game is Everton. There's no game in between, is there?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's no Champions League.
Villa as well after Chelsea. That's tough as well, isn't it? Because Villa are on good form, aren't they?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about those games is that Villa are going to exhaust us and give us a game, home and away. You know what I mean? And that's good. Unai Emery is going to get his players pumped for us, and then you've got Brentford. I think Keith Andrews. He knows they're not the favourites, but he's not gonna. He knows that there's a weapon. They got runs in the midfield. They've got that long throw from Coyote, and they got Thiago, who causes chaos. He's the patron chaos.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, there it is, there, Kenny. I mean, but big up everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us.
The thing about it is that you look at Chelsea. You know, they'll be in it mathematically, but mentally, for Chelsea to be in this top, they've got to mentally believe that they can win the league. I don't think mentally their manager believes it, and in turn, I don't think they believe it.
No, I think they're looking at consolidating top 4 and having a good cup run. But big up everyone in the chat.
But the thing is, it depends. If they go on a run and they're close enough, and we drop points. And they have an eye. Who knows? But the thing is with Chelsea, I don't know what their goals are, to be honest, because they got in the top 4 last season. They won the Conference League, won the World Cup Championships. What is their goal?
I think their goal is to try and challenge for the Premiership. And
he's spent a shitload of money.
Yeah, it's got to be though, isn't it? It's a club. I mean, look, I don't mean to be all doom and gloom, but I remember in a 02-03 season with that fantastic Arsenal side, who I say is still the best team Arsenal have probably produced.
I agree with you. I think that's the case as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That 02-03 team is the best Arsenal team. But big up everyone in the chat. Make sure that you slap a like and also make sure, it says captain or not, he's got to do the right.
You know the thing that's quite extraordinary there as well.
And look at Aston Villa.
Look at Aston Villa. The first 4 games, look at Aston Villa. They're full front, man. The first 4 games, Aston Villa scored no goals.
They were second from bottom, Aston Villa.
Yeah, they didn't score in their first 4 games.
No.
But look at them now.
Look at them now. Exactly. And the thing is, do you remember that 02-03 season, Kenny? We was, 8-10 points clear of Ferguson's Man United.
Yeah, and
Man
we
United,
fluffed their
Man
lives.
United were middle of the table. What happened, Kenny? What happened?
They won the league. We lost.
They
We
won the league,
drew
exactly.
we couldn't beat them at we couldn't beat them at Highbury, even though we're 2-1 up. And then they got the E-class with Solskjaer after, was it Giggs? After we scored a second goal, they got the. I think it was Ashley Cole got. I don't know. I think Ashley Cole or
and
Reed
we
got,
were flying. We were similar to we were similar vibe to what we're feeling now. So you know,
do you remember we were 2-0 up against Bolton, drew 2-2, and that let Man United.
Do you remember that?
And then we lost to Leeds United, and Man United won the title.
Jesus, no, don't.
Yeah, but it happened though. It's facts though, isn't it?
It is facts. This is what I'm saying. We're cautiously optimistic. That's the road I'm going down. I'm going cautious avenue, optimistic gardens. Big up the Lynch. Big up the Lynch who's in.
I'm saying I'm just talking about Arsenal, right? You know, right now, our defence is fantastic. We haven't got the clean sheets that we normally have been keeping before. But you know what? It's about the one thing Mikel can't deny. He's got options on the bench now, and he himself said he's very, very happy when he looks at the bench.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what did you think of Mosquera's performance yesterday, Kenny?
Because I was
surprised that he came in. I can only
he probably wants Hincapié. Yeah, but that means he's not going to start against Chelsea, doesn't it? It's Hincapié to start.
Yeah.
I thought he did all right yesterday. I thought he had a good game. I thought he had a steady game. I thought Sleeper was steady as well.
I thought Sleeper stepped up yesterday, to be honest.
But you know, if you're a young defender like Mosquera, and you're coming to this Arsenal side that's settled defensively, what will happen is that when you've got a winning environment and you've got a system which everyone knows their jobs, it's easier to settle into the team and have good performances because there's no confusion in terms of like, for instance, can you imagine a Liverpool player now where no one knows what to do, no one knows what everyone's jobs are, they keep on losing, so psychologically they haven't got confidence in what they're doing. They haven't got confidence that their manager's instructions are going to work, if they are correct, and that the manager's tactics are going to work. Whilst if you play at Arsenal now, we're winning. We're in a kind of environment where confidence is very high.
Oh yeah, it's really high. Let's get on to some of the chats. So big up, Dal. All you can do is the old saying: one game at a time. Just make sure you're either way clear on points or in the mix come the last day.
100%.
Honestly, 100%. That is how we look at it. Me and Kenny and a few others.
Look, if it gets to a situation where we get pegged back and we're 2 points or a point ahead, and it's the last game of the season at Selhurst Park, you still put your money on us to go and win it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because mentally, if it's a situation where Arsenal are in front, you would have thought, yeah, they win it. But if it's a situation where we're relying on teams to do us a favour, you're always wondering what's going on in the other game. Now, you know what I mean. And I think when you think of our fixture list.
Let's have a little look. But before we do that, Kenny, Martin Tapp would just like to say, and big up Martin Tapp, absolute legend. Kenny Ken, encyclopedia on Arsenal.
Thanks, Martin. I really appreciate your kind words, mate.
He is not an encyclopedia on Arsenal. He's an encyclopedia on most things football. I tell you, if ever you want to know a result of two teams, he'll 9 out of 10 get it for you, and the goal scorers. We need to be at least 12 points in the lead.
I agree.
I'll take that. Yeah, I mean, listen, one thing with this chat, they're all talking pretty sense. They're all level-headed. Gunnar, completely agree. It makes sense to be cautious or optimistically.
No, I think so, definitely, yeah.
Perfect way to start the show, DJB. Thank you, Kawaja. Thank you, everyone that's in.
Good to talk to you,
we need to be 12 points clear. Well, let's have a little look at the fixtures because.
Let's lift it up. You got Chelsea. That for Chelsea. That's a game they feel they can win because they're at home.
That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a tough game.
They have to win.
Right? Then we've got 50%.
Should beat Brentford, but Brentford
midweek. We should.
You know what? Brentford have got a plan, and they're going to make it difficult and very tricky for us.
I think they're going to make it ugly, aren't they?
Yeah, ugly. Another thing as well, they've got players who can play, and in terms of they'll play with a back three anyway. He plays with a back three. Keith Andrews, and he plays with athletes, and he relies heavily on his midfield of Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson's going to be very important for him, and Thiago. He's going to want Thiago to just cause havoc. But what's happened as well? Long throw-ins. They're their speciality. They just cause all sorts.
Oh yeah, they really whip them in.
We better make sure that we win the first ball. We've got to win the first ball against them.
Yeah, I mean, with me, Kenny, no game is easy, man. No game is easy. When you're chasing a premiership, no game is easy.
Yeah, but you know what? It's tricky, but we should beat them because our home record is exemplary. So
yeah. What do you make of this one? Big up the Lynch, absolute legend as always. Food for thought. Martin Lynch could have started. We would have still had Trossard.
Well, the thing with Martinelli is
that you have started him, Kenny. I mean, it was a shout on my. I said start him, but
he's I think with Madueke fit, he's down a pecking order. So because I think the manager's now, kind of moving towards Madueke and playing on the left hand side, and in essence, he's probably his first choice ahead of Trossard. Trossard's just playing well.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have rested Trossard, but it was one of them, wasn't it? It was hard.
No, you know what? If a player like Trossard, if someone like Trossard who basically has to fight for his place and he's playing well, and the team are playing well within it, you've got to go with continuity. You've got to go with a guy in form.
Yeah.
So you break the guy's momentum if you rest him. That's what I think, especially. And it's not good man management. You're resting when the guy feels he needs to stay in that team. He needs to play every game and play well in every game and keep his place. And then you're resting him. It kills his momentum and kills his rhythm.
That's the thing with Trossard, isn't it? He's a confidence player, isn't he?
Yeah, that'd be bad man management to leave him out.
He's a confidence player, isn't he?
Yeah, especially when he's playing well.
Exactly. Brentford, for me, are like the old Bolton. They make it hard to break down, 100%.
Yeah,
Trossard was starting too many games. Yeah, probably there could have been a little bit of a rotation now, possibly. After Brentford, Kenny, this is the one for me. This is the one. There's two fixtures I'm scared of. Chelsea, not scared, but...
Well, we beat them last week. We beat them last year. Don't get me wrong, last season we beat them 2-0 and they had some very good chances. But this season, they're just as good. And you know another thing as well, they're not relying heavily on Watkins. The player that's is very important for them is John McGinn. John McGinn's, he's had a really good season. Konza in defence has been really good for him as well.
Yeah.
Cash has been all right, but
Rogers.
Rogers. Another reason why they've been playing better football. They've got Tielemans back as well.
Yeah,
Yuri Tielemans in that midfield alongside Rogers and McGinn. That's going to be when they're on the ball as well. That's going to be a hard game where it could go either way. It wouldn't surprise me we win it. But it wouldn't surprise me as a point, or it wouldn't surprise me if Villa get the win behind the goal because Villa always raise their game against us. And that's not just because of Ian Emery. Over the years, we go back the last
they've always years, done it.
Even going back to the 80s.
They've been a bit of our bogey team.
They've been a bit of a bogey team to Arsenal. During the 90s when they had Brian Little and John Gregory.
Brian Little, yeah.
We always found it hard to beat Villa home and away.
Yeah.
It
Do
was
you remember
against
when
hard
they had
games.
that Gary? Oh, what was his name? Gary, what's it up front as well? Shaw, was it Shaw?
Harry Shaw and Peter With.
Harry Shaw.
You remember in the 90s they had Milosevic, who they criticised a lot, but they had Dwight York as well. They had the
I remember the Peter With days as well. They
had a Josh Smith on, Taylor. They had Ian Taylor. They had he's in midfield. But that team under John Gregory was so bloody hard to beat, weren't it?
Oh, they were a pain. They were physical and all, very physical team.
And they had D&W played for them as well. Do you remember that time we played them in 98, 99? We were 2-0 up. Dennis Bergkamp scored some 2 goals, and then they beat us 3-2, and D&W got a hat trick, I think.
Yeah,
and we were 2-0 up. Do you remember?
We've had some right nightmares against Aston Villa.
And let's not forget, it cost us the title in 23-24. They beat us out of the way.
It's not it's just one of them teams that we've kind of struggled with, but I'm confident we can go there and get a result.
Right. You look at the game.
Would you be disappointed with a draw there, Kenny?
Well, not really, because we're still going to be top of the table.
Let me rephrase it. Sorry, mate. Let me rephrase it, right? At the moment, we can only see wins because the Arsenal team are flying. Looks solid.
You know what it is.
Is there any games that you would be that you would come out and go, do you know what? I'm happy with a point.
Not necessarily, because you want to win every game.
Yeah, but you want to win every game.
In the context of the title, it's not catastrophic because you still got a cushion, and Man City, if our rivals drop points, it's irrelevant.
And it's away, isn't it?
Irrelevant, isn't it? Aston Villa's not any 12:30 kickoff. With 12:30 kickoff. Don't get me wrong. We played Villa at 12:30 in 21-22. We beat them. We beat them comfortably. Stacker got the goal in 22-23. A brilliant game. We won 4-2, but we scored 2 last-minute goals. And then the season afterwards, they beat us home and away. And then last season, we beat them 2-0. And then when we played them at Highbury, 2-0 up, they drew 2-2. 2 goals. So Aston Villa do not fear us. They don't fear us. They think they can beat us, and they're always competitive against us. If they lose, if there's times when Aston Villa have been really bad, when they had really bad, Gerrard, they weren't great against us when Gerrard was there, and obviously Dean Smith. But in lockdown, Aston Villa beat us home and away.
Yeah. Club Brugge, Kenny, do you reckon he'll make changes in that?
100%.
He's gonna make changes.
Yeah, and he'll make changes against Wolves 3 days later as well.
Then we've got Wolves. So we've got a little bit of kind of not want to say easy games. That's disrespectful.
Club Brugge to kind of help themselves. They'll concede goals, and we'll break it on. Everton's going to be bloody hard.
This is a tough one. Right on top of Christmas, 20th of December. That's not easy, is it?
It can go either way. We could either win it, or Everton could get a point, or Fluke a win, because they're really organised as a team, and they're another team that on their ground they fear nobody. They'll go for it. They don't care who they play. They'll go for it. Yeah, they might get a bloody nose. They might lose, but they'll 100% be up for it and go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's like, literally right on top of
rotation.
Crystal Palace, we'll rotate that. I mean, we won't go on further, but we all know the score there. So they're the games before Christmas, and then after Christmas we've got Brighton, which is a tough one. Yeah, another sort of semi-bogey team, if you like.
Yeah, but the thing with Brighton is that their fans call the Emirates. They say the Emirates Stadium is their back garden.
Yeah,
do you know how many times they won there? Yeah. Do you know how many times they won there? And they've won a few times under Arteta's management,
Yeah.
And they've been worth. They won it. They won with when after Emery got sacked, when Freddie Lundberg was the temporary manager, the interim head coach. They beat us 2-1. And then Arteta's first couple of seasons, first season in lockdown we beat them, and then after lockdown they beat us twice, absolutely murdered us.
Yeah, I know. They're a funny side.
And that's when I was afterwards when one guy walked past me and said, "Yeah, I love it here. It's our back garden, isn't it?"
I remember going into the going for a drink after the game near Ivory Fields there, and there was a load of Brighton fans in there, and they were giving it to us. Cucurella played that day. He played absolutely brilliant, to be honest with you.
But as I said before, when you know, it's a good thing you mentioned Cucurella. Cucurella at the moment is the best left back in the league.
Oh, definitely. He's definitely
that's not digging it's Calafiori, but when Calafiori's done a fantastic job for us and he's made us solid. But when you think about individual performance, where he's not just been an influence on a sort of like defensive side where he's been solid, but attacking wise, he's been brilliant.
It's not that he's left off where he was brilliant. He had a brilliant Euros, didn't he, with Spain, and he hasn't really looked back. He hasn't really looked back.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing, he's going to be like a nuisance, an absolute nuisance against us on Sunday.
Oh, he always is. He's one of them players that you love to hate, isn't he? Because he's
a
real.
If you play for you love him. But you know the thing with Cucurella, right? For Chelsea to get something out of the game and beat us, Cucurella, Reece James, Casado, Fernandes, and I think Fofana have to play well. 5 players have to play well.
Yeah. What realistic score are you looking at, Kenny?
I said to DJB, I said 2-1, but I'm not sure who to. But I bet it's more likely to be us because we're in form. But 2-1 against, if Chelsea beat us 2-1, would surprise me. But 2-1's the scoreline I'm going for either way. I think it'll be us.
About this one.
I think it'll be 2-1 either way, but it could be 2-1 to us.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm a little bit 2-1 Chelsea or 1-1.
The form we're in, it could be 2-1 us. It could be a situation we nick at the end.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, listen, the way we're playing, I mean, you wouldn't put it past us winning, you know.
Look, we don't know when we're beaten. We don't know when we're beaten. We're beaten when we're beaten.
Big up Paul Nash.
You know what I mean? Or Paul Agdew, mate. But yeah, we're beaten when we're beaten.
Yeah, exactly. But for us to get a result there again, everyone's got to play well. Last question before we get out of here, Kenny's. I know you're
one reminder as well. Shane Goonart is going to be at the game next week.
Shane Goonart, and we're going to meet Shane. We're both going to meet Shane Goonart at Brentford.
No about get their sharpish, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think Aaron's going to be there as well.
Yeah, Aaron will be there in his shorts, and he'll have Shane there as well. So I hope he's bought a full Irish breakfast with him. Save me getting something to eat. But yeah, we're going to meet Shane next Wednesday.
I always say that there's no difference. He generally believes there's a difference between an Irish breakfast and
the pudding, isn't it? It's the pudding, isn't it? One's black, one's white pudding. I don't know. I don't eat
both taste nice anyway.
Nah. I think we get 18 points out of the possible 24 from now until New Year's Eve. We will be in a comfortable
24 out of 24 is brilliant, but you know what's happening? You know what Christmas is? People will drop points, but it won't be catastrophic because the league's hard.
Other teams will drop them.
Oh yeah, Man City will drop points.
Of course, Kenny's
Chelsea will drop points.
Kenny's got his guns, of course.
Yeah, I have. And Chelsea will drop points.
Yeah, it's his first. Listen, Lynch is Kenny's Thursday night off. He always has quality food on a Thursday night.
Well, I don't know. People reckon I quality. One guy when I was
it's his date night Thursday nights. He always leaves that free, don't you, Kenny?
But you know what it is with in terms of like food wise. I remember I was doing my video after the Nigel Benn Chris Eubank fight, and one guy he's basically Instagram handle is mozzarella pizzas. So we were having a back and forth. He was having a go at me. He said, "Oh, you only bit you can't take it because your man lost." And then we started talking about it. He goes, "Oh, you look like you've had a few dinners." About me, I said, "That's all muscle." I called him Mr. Stuffed Crust. And then we started going another back and forth. He goes, "Well, you look like you had a few stuffed crust." I tell you what, why don't you? I tell you what, you know, in pizza, normally in pizza places, you do eat all you want. Eat all you want. I said, well, I'll tell you what, you know, why don't you help out a mate and give me eat all you want for £5? And he went, bloody hell. And he came at me and said, if I give you eat all you want for £5, I'll be out of business.
Yeah, you like your food, Kenny. I've got to be
honest. I do like the food. Well,
I do like your grub, mate.
I don't eat before football.
No,
I
no.
can't eat
I
food.
only eat lightly before
And,
football, to be
and that's
honest.
even after like a night game. If
Yeah.
I eat after, so last night I had food at midnight because I can't eat before
Yeah, I
football.
always come home and have a cereal or something like that. I do.
Yeah.
I'll have a cereal when I get home and that. But I don't get home till about 11:45 from a Champions League game. Got in at quarter
I
to 12.
do
I
stuff
got in
with
last
Lee.
night.
I do the interviews with Lee, the fan cam, and then afterwards. So look, before I did my fan cam, I went and got something to eat. Did a fan cam and came home with the food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I don't normally get in till about 11:45. This is why I don't want it to go to Wembley, mate, because I'll have
If
to pack
Wembley,
it off.
you'll be missing. Well, that's the thing. You'll be missing like the last train. But the thing is that Wembley. Look, I don't think that Arsenal should be playing games at Wembley. I still think like the London Stadium is a lot
We're going to
more.
get the campaign going, Kenny, me and
Well,
you, mate.
definitely, but
That's it.
it's more supporter friendly to go to London Stadium than
Yeah,
it would be to go to
100%.
like. And it's not me being a bitch and crying and want my own way. It just makes
No,
footballing sense. You know
of
what I
course
mean?
it does. 100%, mate.
Mm.
100%. That's a nightmare. Just the station, not the football stadium. It's getting out of it.
Yeah,
And it's getting on the platform. You think Highbury Islington's bad enough? Wait, honestly, that is an absolute nightmare.
that's the thing. It's an absolute nightmare, and you know whether we like it or not, that's the way things are going to have to go. You know,
Yeah,
ideally you want Arsenal to you know be in the best stadium possible. But the thing about it though, I look at SLD. Doesn't like goal celebrations or food at games. The food at games, 100%. I love goal celebrations. Food at games, not a chance. But yeah, look,
me and Kenny just don't do the Goikerez, do we?
no,
But
no,
we do that.
I just think right that Wembley. Can you imagine if you do it occasionally, it's not a problem. But if you do it 30 times in a year and you've got
Yeah.
midweek games as well, it's ridiculous.
Well,
It
I'll be
doesn't make,
honest with you,
I don't
Kenny.
know if Spurs did it. I don't know if
If we was
Spurs
at
did it.
Wembley next Wednesday, if we was at Wembley next Wednesday at home to Brighton, I wouldn't be going.
Yeah, and that's the thing with you mean Brentford, yeah, and that's the thing. But if we go to Wembley, you are going to get games like this. You're going to get Champions League games at
Exactly.
that time, and
Exactly.
and whether you like it or not, you got our Spurs fans. You know they did that for about a season and a half.
They hated it. They hated it.
It doesn't work.
No, it don't work, mate. Well, what we'll have to do, Kenny, we'll have to get T-shirts. No to
Yeah,
Wembley. No
no,
to Wembley.
you've got to say it. But the thing about it is the people who represent us as a supporters club should be the minute there should be going to the football club and saying, look, you know
Yeah.
what? We have genuine concerns, not about you updating the stadium, but where we go to. And at Wembley is just not viable for fans.
No,
But
it's not.
them lot would just think, oh, just proceed. You wait till something happens where you watch at Wembley, we're not going to get 60,000 there. We're not going to
No,
get 80,000.
no.
We'll be lucky we get 40,000 there. With
Oh, yeah.
Spurs, do you remember Spurs played West Ham in the League Cup? They only got
Yeah.
about 30,000 at Wembley. And it's
I
West
know.
Ham.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Because
There was empty seats. There was
they
no
want to get there.
atmosphere. It was crap.
Yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The reason why Arsenal want us to go to Wembley because they think if they get someone like Real Madrid, and they get Barcelona or those big European teams, they get 90,000 there. That's why they want to go Wembley. But if they go to London Stadium, they could get 60,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Kenny, before we get out of here, big up the chat. Make sure you smash a like, guys. Make sure you sub.
Yeah, do. Long time no see. I want that crown as well.
There he is, Anthony. Kenny, I still want that crown. I haven't forgot.
You got close. You got close a couple of times.
Kenny, before we get out of here, your starting 11 and score prediction for Sunday, my friend.
Well, my starting 11 is in goal, Raya. Right back is Timber. Left back is Calafiori. Centre half is Hincapié and Saliba. Midfield, Rice, Eze, because I think Odegaard can start on the bench, and obviously Zubimendi. Up top, Madueke, Saka, and Marino.
Right, you want to play Gorkarez if he's fit?
Well, he's not fit, is he?
Oh, he ain't fit. Right.
He ain't fit. he's not fit that I know of.
I heard rumours that he might be fit for Sunday, but
Yeah, he'll come off the bench then. Odegaard off the bench, but I think Odegaard will start against Brentford.
Were they playing they was playing behind a closed doors game or something, weren't they?
I know Arsenal got
tonight,
behind. I think they've got a friend against Man United.
Yeah, behind closed doors for the likes of Gorkarez and people like that, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think that, you know.
And what was your score prediction, Kenny?
2-1. I think it'd be 2-1 Arsenal, but don't be surprised if it's 2-1 Chelsea or 1-1.
Yeah. You're like me. There's a mix. I'm roughly in the same ballpark as you. I can see it but I can't see it. I reckon it's either going to be 1 or 2-1 the other way. But that's not me being negative because it's absolutely flying at the moment. I mean, we've had some great home games.
You know, it's DJB. What constitutes as being negative? Because I think what's happened is that the accusations of being negative normally come because you're not celebrating enough, you're not happy enough. And we are. It's just that what it is that it's so close. When you get close to success, because you haven't had success, you get scared of it. You get worried by it. And we're worried because we just seen it just get snatched for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, Kenny. Oh, come on, you. If that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. Paul.
It's Paul. The Champions League games at Wembley were shite, and more you play there, the more it's less of an occasion. 100%. I didn't agree with the FA Cup semi-finals being at Wembley. I thought that was the worst thing they ever done.
Can you imagine Barcelona?
Worst thing they ever done.
But can you imagine Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich, Internazionale come to Wembley for a Champions League game against Arsenal?
Yeah.
What my bit of that? They'll love it.
Well, we saw that, didn't we, in the last time we played the Champions League there?
You know, when we played Barcelona, Fiorentina, they loved it, didn't they?
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
And what's it like?
Martinelli, Gorkarez off the bench. I like that. Yeah, I think they've got to come off the bench. I don't think they're fully fit yet. Gorkarez, if he is fit, he definitely won't be starting. And I don't think he deserves to start, to be honest. I think Marino's done all right.
Well, yeah, of course. It just goes without saying. It's not because
Marino covered a lot of ground last night, to be honest.
It's fair. Yeah, but eventually, Gorkarez will come in the team at the expense of Marino because he's their first choice. You know what I mean? Eventually, because you have to go with the guy you spent money on.
It's no good rushing them all back, though, Kenny. Is there? We don't want to be in a position where we're rushing them back. They break down, and then come the nitty gritty part of the season, we're like, oh, here we go again, injuries. We want to ease them in. There's no panic stations yet, is there?
And that's what we're going to do with Martin Odegaard.
Players are in form at the moment in positions. You know, there's no panic stations there. What did you think before? Last question, Kenny. I promise you can go. Zubimendi last night. What did you think of him?
You know what? Zubimendi did a lot of good stuff off the ball. I gave him a 7 because I thought, like, this is a game we bought before Europe, innit?
Yeah.
Zubimendi got.
I thought he retained the ball quite well to you.
He retained the ball really well, and possession-wise, he did well. But he covered as well a lot of ground in terms of like when we have the ball. But everyone in that first half struggled with Barcelona, with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Speed, passing, and speed of movement. We all struggled with it. But second half, we actually turned the game on its head with our tempo.
Oh, it was brilliant for second half. Absolutely brilliant. But we did see signs that Bayern Munich are a top team, and when they've got Diaz back and they've got their players back, it's still not an outfit I'd like to see in the knockout. I would like to
see get a fully if they get Lima back in midfield, alongside Kimmich, and they get Davies and Diaz, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't think they're panicking over that loss, to be honest. I don't think companies, obviously they're disappointed, but I don't think they're panicking too much over that loss. But big up to the Arsenal, absolutely brilliant. Kenny, thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks,
I won't keep you any longer because I know you want to get off and have your dinner and stuff. In the chat, thank you very much. Please make sure that you smash a like on the channel. It does help the channel. And make sure that you're following. Give a shout out, Kenny Ken.
Not Kenny Ken in 1972. Kenny Ken 1972 on Instagram.
Big up to everyone. Big up to everyone. I'm only trailing 5-4 in the Retro Kit League. So thank you for everyone for voting for me. And Shane weren't happy. We will meet Shane next Wednesday. He's over and we're going to the
Yeah,
Brighton.
good to meet Shane before the Brentford game.
Yeah.
And then the week afterwards,
big up Kawaja.
Week and a half afterwards, Jez is coming down for like
Wolverhampton. Jez is down to Wolves, yeah. So all systems go, Kenny. But Kenny, thank you very much indeed, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to the Arsenal. Great performance yesterday. Once we got going, it was brilliant. Brilliant against Spurs. Let's hope we can put another performances on Sunday. I'll be back with the Sunday sit back, all your post-match reaction from the Chelsea game, all your players, how they performed. We'll get right into it, chat, on Sunday sit back session. You know the coup. So join me for that. But in the meantime, stay safe, enjoy your evening, and we're out of here. Love, bless, au revoir.